Well, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. Thank you for being with us. Uh, I'd say an April Fool's joke, but yeah, it wouldn't go unrecognized because of the slap of the week. And so, hey, thanks. This is our Esqaplh Kwenengsen gathering of the Eagles. We meet twice a month. This month we're meeting 3 times a month. So just remember our next meeting is on the 16th. And then we have a meeting on the 30th. Just want to take a few moments to give you a little update. We had a great week reaching out to friends of Jewel James. Just quickly want to go over our schedule of events. If we know that we need to change any of our schedule, and Bart, I'll send this over to you so you could share it, okay? And make sure that our friends at Chief Leshai School, for everybody, that Bart is representing Chief Leshai Schools down in Tacoma. Just really glad they're gonna be coming along on our it's just a short journey through the island. Sunday 5/22/22. We'll start arriving around 7 o'clock at the Washington Park. If you remember that morning, we'll have a meeting with the skippers, and then we have to depart about 11 o'clock. And I'm getting some feedback from somebody. Someone turn this down a bit, okay? And or if you can mute. Then we'll do a soft landing, give or take 2 o'clock. That might be where everybody has a lunch break. When we get farther back and you look at the map, the skippers might want to get across Rosario and have a break. That's a minus tide. And you guys can just go right ashore there. All the canoes and the canoe skippers will just have lunch there. That's not on here. And then they'll continue to park, or they'll continue to paddle to the soft landing, which is on a little island. David probably knows where it is. It's a little island just before you get to the ferry terminal on Lopez Island. And then around 4 o'clock, you'll take off, come around the ferry terminal corner there. We'll have the flotilla. I need to put that on there. So I'm going to add that the 3 o'clock soft landing, that if there are any, okay, I'm going to say the B word. If there are any boats that are going to be out there with us, we want to make sure that they're in the flotilla, because they're going to have like an anchor or something on each side. So should there be wind, that we'll have those that want to view the paddle from the water, we'll have a flotilla. So this will probably take place at each of our events. And so we'll need our Kai. We'll need somebody from Lopez Island. Just add right in there at 3 o'clock soft landing TBD. Just add flotilla. Just and I'll update this. I'll add a flotilla leader. 4 o'clock will be about the victory paddle and landing at Odland Park. Kai Sanborn and Judy Meyer are island leaders. But we'll have, if there is a dinner, but most of us know we're bringing our own food. The canoe families will probably have dinner already for their individual canoes, and the canoe families. And then 6 o'clock, we'll have protocol at the baseball field. You can go online if you need to look at Odland Park, give you a little better idea. It's really beautiful. Parking's going to be pretty limited. So Kai, I know we was talking about that. Should should you guys get, I don't know, a couple of hundred vehicles. I don't know how many vehicles are on the island or how many residents, but when we drove through there, so I'm just gonna put parking because that's gonna be an issue
Yeah.
for everybody that might come down for the protocol. Okay, so here's a question, Kai. What if it rains?
Yeah.
What if it's gonna be downpouring like the big storm that's coming in tomorrow night and Monday? I don't know if you guys have a school or a community center. I was just thinking, what is plan B?
Plan B. Well, we haven't addressed Plan B, but certainly there is the school. There's also the community center. The school would probably be easier
Okay,
as an option. So we can check that out.
okay,
Otherwise,
yeah,
we'll just have to be party Northwesterners. There is a covered pavilion, but it's very small at Odland Park.
yeah. I just was thinking about that because I
Yeah.
don't know. I've done more than enough of my share of water festivals and not planned for at least a couple of tents, but that I just want to put that in your plan B list. So we'll do protocol. Generally it's protocol, if you don't know, is the canoe that traveled the farthest will be the first to paddle in. So the Hawaiians, their canoes will paddle in, then Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, Coeur d'Alene tribe, and then Portland, and then the South Puget Sound Chief Leshai school will come in. So protocol is the canoes that traveled, the canoe family that has traveled the farthest are the first. So it's the same with the cultural presentation. Probably have a skippers meeting that night and then conclude. When we conclude, I said 11 o'clock, we just leave it at that. So a couple of things to think about there. That morning, day 2, we'll have a skippers meeting. Everyone's pretty much, unless otherwise noted on here, breakfast will be on your own. You'll depart for Friday Harbor at least before noon. Those tides on that day is back in the map, but soft landing at Brown Island at 2 o'clock. So and then the victory paddle and the landing would be about 4 is what we're saying. Matt and I talked about I don't know what time school is going to get out. I was trying to take into consideration Kai and David on the island will want to talk with the county maintenance to make sure we get some if you have to put in a permit to either, I mean, we say close the road down, but there's still traffic going either way, but kind of a traffic advisory. And so, yeah, we'll want to talk with the county maintenance department about getting some signs, slow traffic, event traffic, some barricades would really help out your event staff trying to right there by the Odland turn in. That's a pretty big intersection. We're gonna, let's just say it could get pretty crazy. and so we want to take a look at our traffic, our traffic safety plans, if you know what I mean. I'll just keep moving. Dinner break at 5 in on Lopez Island. That'll be camping's at the fairground. It's like 4-minute walk. Parking's really great. You can park right across the street for the landing. The landing is on private property, so we just want everybody to know that we're guests. We want to respect the host, and then 6 o'clock that night we'll do a protocol and gift exchanges. I don't want to forget to recognize the safety boats that are always out there providing the safety for the canoes and all the staff, and then conclude. Okay, Tuesday, May 24th, okay, that's kind of a day on your own. And I know yeah, that's just that whole listing. Can you pan up a little bit? Oh yeah, sorry. Okay, and then Wednesday is the next day. Okay, so Wednesday the 25th, San Juan to Orcas. Leave at breakfast. You guys will get up pretty early. The ground crews are gonna have to take off eventually. You want to head up. We'll see the canoes off generally in the morning, Kai and Matt and David. When the canoes leave, we kind of have a ceremony to untie their canoes and allow them to depart. So that's a part of the departure ceremony. Some canoes will leave early. Like they'll have a general, but weather permitting, all that good stuff. So low tide is right at 9 o'clock at Friday Harbor. And then the canoes there's a couple of really cool places that you guys might be able to, a little tiny, nobody lives on these little tiny islands. And so Sam was helping, he was going to help research that. He actually thought that some canoes might go up and camp on like some certain parks aside and not making the 18-mile paddle from San Juan to Orcas Island. So, all of our canoe captains are all of us, we just got to remember that's a real long day for our canoe families on the paddle. That's the longest paddle. If you ever paddled on the canoe journey and went from Tulalip to Swinomish, that's 27 miles. So it just kind of, that's a real long day for the canoes. The canoes will land at Camp Orkila around 4. We're saying 4 every day. That may change. But we'll say that's when the canoes will leave, and it's not like they're gonna be there right at 4. I'm just letting you guys know they might leave the soft landing at 4 and say, okay, this is what we said on the schedule, and there's 15 canoes, so it's when the canoes ask to come ashore, things will move pretty fast. So we won't be sitting there like at any ordinary canoe journey, and the canoes start landing at 2 and they're finally done by 5 or 5:15. I imagine, and so that's why I'm planning so that when the canoes come ashore, if they want to sing, share, do it, share their language, share their story. So Camp Okaila, then dinner. Um, I know we're talking about providing dinner then, just because it was a long day, and so that's why I have to be announced there. And then we'll do protocol and go into the evening. And so what's going to be nice after this day is we're there for another day. So Orcas Island is the island. Go ahead, go to the next page. Day 5, again, May 26th is going to come really fast, you guys. So we want everyone to really just, hey, keep up your fundraising, keep doing the good work, keep, if you, canoe families, we're gonna schedule some cold water training we hope to have, and make a video so that if you don't know what cold water training is, you'll know how to do it at your own in your own territories and with your own canoe families whenever you can. But that's really good. You kind of got to jump in the water to really feel the Sailor Sea and to know what safety is. I'm going to go a little bit faster here. Friday departure. Okay, so this is critical. Friday, day 6, May 20, Orcas Island to Lummi. The paddle is probably shorter than, the ground crew. The ground crew is going to have to leave pretty early in the morning. We have campground. Vicki Washington is my campground manager. She's great. We'll have campsites ready and secure. I'm going to offer right now, if canoe families, if you come up here, Jeff and Mary we're going down to visit. So if anybody wants to come up, not this weekend, but next weekend, and if you have a motorhome or a fifth wheel, if you want to scout and see the area and do a pre walkthrough and see exactly where you might camp, I'll extend that. We'll do that on Saturday. If anybody wants to, any of the canoe families want to come and break bread with us, I'll make that optional. Give me a call. But Friday they'll leave pretty early, catching the ferry before 10 a.m. Skippers will, meet either the night before or that next morning and make the decision. You got to depart before 11 a.m. Okay, so that's all these, everything that's in here. I looked at the tide and I've put a lot of thought into it. And this will just make sure you get across right at slack tide, because that tide's going to start moving in. And if you don't time it right, you'll get caught right in the tide and it'll push you up to Cherry Point. Soft landing at Lummi on Friday, the 27th, 2 o'clock. I'm going to move the victory paddle to 4 because I want to keep everything. I just want to keep everything until we change it otherwise. And so they'll leave. Hey, everybody's just getting off work at the tribe at 4:30. They'll come. Dinner, when the canoes arrive, I'm gonna do TBA because we will probably we will probably work something in there for either a dinner and or have a soft landing. So when all the canoes do a soft landing, we'll bring brown bags down to the soft landing for sure. So I'm going to put that in. There at the soft landing, and then 6 o'clock protocol, and Friday night we'll do a we'll do a coastal jam. So it'll really be our celebration. Everyone will be able to get settled in for the potlatch. Some canoes won't paddle all the way with us. Saturday the 28th. We hope to have a continental breakfast. I have to readjust this storytelling main stage because I'm just going to take that right out of there, and I'm going to take naming out of that on our pages. And so we want everyone to start getting their places at 11 o'clock. Okay. We want to make sure all of our canoes and our families and your elders and all of us that help make this possible for Jewel and I want us all sitting together. Okay. I want to make sure that we're all sitting together. I'm going to take out this 3 o'clock that says witnesses, because when the spirit's in control of our event. So our gathering of egos, our honoring, I'm going to add in there Jewel, James, Sasiath. We can't really put time frames on it. So my plan right now, just between us, is to feed everybody as they arrive. So I'm going to say it, probably a brown bag, with a juice and some dessert, and some either seafood chowder or something, just as a little lunch as people arrive. Definitely come get your seats, put your chairs down, put your blankets down. I just would make sure that you guys got your seats reserved, because that place, I'm not saying it'll fill up, but has the potential of really filling up. That event will go right through probably 5 o'clock, give or take, Indian time. And my plan is to have box dinners there right as soon as we're done concluding our event. And then I imagine I'll move this 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock, and we'll have protocol beginning with the Hawaiian Voyage and Canoe Society. They will be here. They will be going to each of the islands. They will be bringing the spirit of aloha to and blessing all of our events. When we open it for protocol, I'm sorry to say, I am off the time clock. I am going to be sitting there and watching and singing and dancing all night long. On Sunday, some of the canoe families might start leaving, but we will still continue protocol if we have to open the floor and continue our work. But that will be the conclusion of my work. Sunday and Monday are I really don't have anything planned. On Sunday, I'm going to add that I'm having other friends come for a strategy session gathering for the Alliance of Earth, Sky, and Water Protectors. And that's my climate action work that I do. And my friends wanted to come and witness. They said they're going to come and volunteer and help hold the canoes and help me. And then they're going to organize and do all of their events on Sunday. And we'll have really beautiful speakers for honoring Jewel, Reuben George, Amy George are coming down. Chief Phil Lane Jr. Is coming down. So that if there's days you want to be here on the mainland, it's Friday night and Friday and Saturday. Okay, so just so you know.
So what's going on Sunday?
That'll be the Alliance of Earth, Sky, and Water Protectors West Coast gathering. And
Okay, is that going to be at Squamish?
That'll be at the Squamish grounds. That's a whole separate, yeah. That'll be at the grounds, probably out underneath the tent. If you want to go to the next page, I'll just finish up here because it's a beautiful day here in the Salish Sea, and it's just a detail. It's that mine doesn't have color. But can you go to the next page, Deb?
You want me to go past the calendar?
There you go. Okay. So this is just what we have scheduled. I talk with everybody once a week. Okay. So I know David, we never talk, so we're gonna chat, but I talk with Deb's with Community Connections. Yeah, I just have San Juan Lopez. I talked with Matt the other day. I just check in once a week. Our canoe registration form, I haven't gotten any back, but we'll get everybody registered. And that'll, again, go ahead and go to the next page, dear. This is just a detail out. This is really for Kai and everybody on Lopez Island. It has the times of the tides. One will depart Washington Park and has a brief, but it shows you the map. Okay. So if you look at the map there, will tell you, it says how many miles it is. And we're pretty good at timing. I again have to add, so down below is just a lot of the checklist. We want to make sure everybody's got their ferry reservations for the canoe families. So Bart, make sure you call the ferries and just see what the prices are so you guys can start making your budgets. Because for one vehicle and 3 passengers, that's about $75. So each of these pages is all detailed. Go ahead and keep going, Deb.
Freddie, can I just suggest that the earlier people make their ferry reservations, the better, because they released the ferry tickets in 3 batches. They released 30% of them 2 months in advance. Then they released 30% of them 2 weeks in advance. Then they released 30% of them 2 days in advance. So each of those different times is a time that there will be a fresh release of tickets. So right now we're already within the 2-month time. So I think the sooner people go on, the better.
Yeah. Okay. We'll put that on the canoe registration form. And so you can keep going, Deb. This is a lot of again, we already went over a lot of what's below is just the detail of times, tides. These are exact tides. If I'm off, I'm sorry. I'm perfect. Orcas Island to Lummi, yay, that's a little paddle. You could see where the canoe families are gonna have to travel all the way from Camp Orkila to Lummi. There's vendor applications available. If you talk with any vendors that want to come, I have Cheryl Solomon is my vendor manager. And then on this application that I have, it has a volunteer registration form. And I'm getting a donor packet, donation packet put together. And I don't have a volunteer manager yet. And so you can exit out of that, Deb. So hi. Yeah, hey Sam. Sam Barr.
And Philip Red Eagles joined us.
Hey Philip Red Eagle, holy smokes. Hey Sam Siaya. So any questions? Good, all right.
No,
No,
too
just
fast,
kidding.
too fast. I've got several questions, if I may.
Go for it. Thank you, David.
Yeah, the first thing is, what time in the morning do you want safety boats to arrive at the departure point? Is it based on that schedule that you just showed us?
Yeah. Yeah, so if, okay, so back to page 2, day 1. So when we depart for Odland, because that's a big minus tide that day. And I honestly can tell you, I don't know what to expect. So yeah, we want so I should just put that on there, right? Safety boats arrive. How's that?
Because you want safety boats that are going to accompany from the point of departure all the way to the point of arrival at the next island, correct?
Yeah, thank you.
And related to that, will there be any kind of instruction for the safety boat captains?
Yeah, so when we get safety boats, if anybody a volunteer, that's one of your volunteer lists. And so on the events in the packet, under I would like to start meeting with the safety boat captains. I think we really should maybe use that May 7th meeting, David.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do that. Let's do that. Make sure that they're all at that meeting. If they're, we'll get whomever because right now our safety boat skipper that was on with us last year and was on with us earlier this year, he can't do it now.
Okay.
So but let's do that safety boat. We'll have a check-in with the safety boats on May 7th. Okay.
Great.
And then we'll do an orientation, David, with Uncle Ron So, with just a couple of friends that I have that when we did Stalmish, and they'll just get, it's just really an orientation of just remembering a lot of basics and CB communications, first aid kits. We'll go over a lot of the safety boat guidelines. And Jeff has a great book too there. if you want to put your name in, and we can email you our awesome guidebook that Jeff Smith has for
That would be great.
mariners.
Yeah, Jeff, I already put my name and email in the chat, so if you can, that would be great. And then
Yeah,
don't
just-
forget Dave Roseberry. Dave Roseberry out here on Orcas Island has been a safety boat many times, so he might be able to help with that May 7th meeting.
Okay,
Great.
that'll be great.
Let's
Go
see.
ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, I asked for people to put their information in the chat, but for some reason I'm not able to copy and paste from the chat.
Oh,
So if
okay.
you can email me, I'll put my email on there again.
Thank you, Jeff.
You
Then,
should be able to save it to your computer.
no, it's not working for some reason.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
oh, I know. Save the whole chat, you mean? Yeah. That's
Yeah.
But if you want to email me, that would be helpful too. So
You want to just say your email out loud right now?
yeah, Jeff, Jeff, Macaw, like the tribe, Makah
Okay,
@gmail.
great. Thank you. I have a few more questions. Freddie,
ahead,
I'm
David.
sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay. Can anyone participate in the events that you're going to have once the canoe journey has landed on an island? I know there's going to be storytelling. I think you're going to have a potlatch at each island. Is that right?
That's the hope.
Okay.
I guess we'll say we're having, because of COVID, we don't have, the big buffet styles anymore.
Right.
So if we just for example, for me, I have to get my infrastructure needs met. So that's everything first, from toilets to hand washing stations. And then once I get my lights and generators and everything is looking good, I got the community center paid off. And then we're gonna raise some food. We're gonna fundraise for food. And first thing we're gonna do is raise money for the welcoming boxes. So when the canoe comes in, you have your friends making beautiful wreaths to place on the canoe. And then you also have two little youth down there that walk out, a box or two of food, and traditionally you set it in the canoe. And so that's the food portion that I'm doing. If we have meals, they have to, we have to, that's kind of like for you on the island, if we have a meal at Camp or Kyla, or the Odd Fellows put on a meal, they're just safety protocols we got to follow with, caterers and all that mask wearing and whatnot. But
Okay.
we can make those happen. That's hopefully my goal. If we meet all of our fundraising for our basics.
Okay.
But-
And as far as the potlatch goes, what would you encourage people from each island who are coming to the potlatches to bring as their gifts?
I would, every community, it's all about the community. So if for me, like I blanket each canoe. If the mayor or the county, your elected representatives, want to present anything, I always honor, after each protocol in the evening, when they present, that's when, you say, oh, like say the Hawaiians go on, the Hawaiians go on first. If there's gifts afterwards you want to gift to the Hawaiians, that's when, that's when the appropriate time is. But again, it's gestures. You guys you guys compile all your gifts and then have your little giveaway at the end. So that's what I'm doing. I got a whole stack of necklaces and drums and blankets. I blanket every skipper. The skipper has a second, so I sometimes will blanket both the skipper and then, you know, even the ground crew, your ground crew manager, those guys are, Jeff knows this, it's pretty cool, you know. Sometimes I've seen some communities, you know, get together like me. I went to Shiprock Beads and made a bunch of necklaces, and you know, I'll be giving out necklaces to each of the paddlers. So bandanas are you know, you find some cool bandanas, or I've seen canoe families give out, I mean, shirts, t-shirts, island shirts, you know, Pacific Blanket. If you ever go by March Point right there, that's where we get all our blankets from. So if there's a wholesale, if there's somebody on the island that can buy them wholesale for you, oh my gosh, they're like $7.25 each.
Really?
Rather
Wow.
than, you know, when you go to the, you know, you go to the powwow, like I just don't pay $20 per. I figure I will talk with a wholesaler and get some, yeah, Pacific Blanket. Go online, pacificblanket.com or marchpoint.com, and that's they have tons of blankets, and that's a great place to get them wholesale. It stretches it out too, because when you're paying full price, that's.
Yeah. I have one last question, and this
Uh-huh.
has to do with what you were talking with Kai about earlier, Plan B for if it rains. Now, are you thinking about where people can stay overnight if it rains? Is that the idea?
No, for protocol. Yeah, because I'm just gonna say, okay, it's 85 degrees in Maui. If it's downpour, raining, and there's no tent, I don't think we'll be able to have an outdoor.
Oh, the
Eh,
ceremony and everything
yeah.
else.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we,
Okay.
like me, I was gonna have everything outdoors, but I just reserved the community center. I was just like, and then after I got it reserved and I'm gonna get it paid off, I'm just gonna do it there because it's warmer. The canoe guests will have been on the water for the past, you know, they'll just arrive and then boom, we're indoors, and they're in case it rains. Oh, and so that's why I had to share that with, you know, but Campo Carla, you know, I don't, you know, we're right next to East Sound there. I never really thought about what is your biggest gymnasium there with the
Campo
school?
Kyla has a large indoor building. I think I'll talk to Katie and see about that.
Yeah, because that and you know what, that works, because having that evening session is just really great. I was talking with a islander on Orcas, and they were asking me those specific twos, you know, because yeah, we were just talking about that too, because every island is going to be different, and there are, even here at Lummi, there are logistical challenges. Because like me, like I just right before the meeting, I was like, boxes of food, infrastructure, toilets, hand washing stations, hand sanitizing stands, ADA for somebody, there's, you know, there's a handicap, you always, and then me, if you got any golf carts, David, on the island, somebody that can help give rides to some of the elders sometimes. That really helps if they're parked all the way up at the parking. I walked that down to when the canoes land. I think that's gonna be, or we can have vans to help transport from the parking lot for elders down to the beach. I think that landing on Orcas too, we'll have to talk with Katie about if there are any chairs, because I'm probably gonna bring several hundred chairs from our old gymnasium and like the week before, just so they're there for the event. But for golf carts and some of your vans and transportation, like I have gas, that's just always a line item. I always put up, if there's any construction companies on the island that can donate a light, those big lights you set, and those are just for safety. That's what I have: generators, the community center rental, and then I'm actually gonna budget in like calling party canopies. If you want to know, they're in Burlington, so there's probably an extra surcharge if you guys get any tents, but I just know that I'm gonna have to rent. I'm gonna have to have some tents on reserve just in case. But
We do have a place on Orcas Island that does big events like that, and they probably have some.
yeah, what's the
What's
place
that
called?
place?
What's the place called? I have to look it up. I can't remember,
Okay.
but I can get you the name.
Okay, it's 2:02 now. Anybody else? Is that it, David?
That's it for me. Thank you so much for taking those questions.
I hope that helps.
Yes, absolutely.
Samuel had a question, but he seems to have disappeared.
Yeah, he was wondering about, one of the questions he had, or he wrote on the chat, which is, what time are folks planning on launching on Sunday, the 22nd?
By
So you
11
may
a.m.
wanna,
By 11
Yeah.
a.m.? Okay.
Yeah.
I
so we
just wanted,
may wanna contact him and let him know that.
I'll give him a call. I've been trying to
Yep.
get a hold of him. He's
Okay.
one of them that I have, because they're leaving from Anacortes, and they're only going to Lopez and San Juan, and then they're coming back. So go ahead, Kai.
yeah, I just wanted to be sure at some point we clarify on the fundraising. I realize some of the fundraising that we're thinking of is so that we can provide gifts and, support the Lopez landing. But I just want to check in with you, Deb. So any funds that were to go to, if we raise funds that go to the gifts and supporting the food and that kind of thing on Lopez, we can just pay vendors directly from that fundraiser. But if the funds are meant to then go on to the gathering itself, it would need to go through, it's more complicated and needs to go through one of the more official Camp Kylo or Friends of the San Juans. Is that correct?
I think if we go, so
Or should we?
everything in the islands is going through Friends of the San Juan, and
All right.
and then again, we'll get this clarified. But we want to make sure everybody's taken care of. So we'll start, again, if our friends on the Islanders on Lopez Island just wanted to first go to Lopez Island, that's great. Okay, then we meet all the needs there. Then should there be any overflow, it can go to San Juan Island, and then David and Katie O on Orcas Island. Those that want, right, David, we want we want to, because that's a pretty big expense there at staying at.
Well, I know
Temple.
Orkyla is donating one day and the food for one day.
Oh,
And they had offered to be the 501c3 for anything, but that was before we knew that Friends of the San Juans was going to be involved. Stephanie, of course, used to be with the Friends, and so she was able to use their 501c3 then. I don't think anybody thought that she would still be able to use it, but I'm glad that that's available.
yeah.
See, Phil, your mic is off. Microphone.
Yeah, there's a young woman named Jess who we're working with on the Clean Beach Cleanup Project. She works with Friends of the San Juans.
Mhm. Yeah.
So what we can, maybe we can, do you know Jess?
Yeah.
The young woman?
David, you know Jess too? Yeah, we'll, yeah,
No, I don't. You mentioned the name Jan before, right?
yeah, Jan.
Okay.
And we'll catch up with Stephanie and maybe on Monday. Kai, David, we'll all get together on the island and we'll just make sure we're clear. Well, that's
Okay.
great. They're donating a day. Wow, that's incredible.
Well, I thought that was already understood. Maybe Katie didn't pass that along?
No, and I think that, yeah, I never, I don't, I never, this is the first I heard of it.
Okay, well, I can certainly double check on that, but no, when I talked to her about the 501c3, she said that's what they were gonna do.
Yeah, I think just getting that, let's get that all clarified so we can put it on our, on our donation or, on our donor page there and just so
I'll check
when
on
people
that.
call you or call me or how do we donate, we'll say here or donate here.
Mhm, okay.
I had a couple things.
Go ahead.
So I put a couple links on here. One is for the Canoe Journey Handbook. I put it on the chat and if you're able to utilize that. And then the other one is a link for educational rate on the ferry system, which is a really great rate if you can get it. And so but Chief Leshai School is probably eligible for that. Or I'm sure they're eligible. And then there is another canoe journey that, as you may know, that is inspired by this journey, but it's starting on July 22nd. It's mostly Canadian canoes, or it's Canadian canoes at this time. And then you may know some of the main people that are organizing as Harry Moon, Jody Simpkin, Strider Headworth, and then also Ron Snyder and Kathy Taggart, who are from this side of the border, but will be providing their support boat, are participating in that. So in case, one of the reasons I bring that up is in case somebody talks about, oh yeah, this canoe journey through this, or this canoe experience through the San Juan Islands, and you go and, it's like, well, there's two of them. So remember that. July 22nd and May 22nd.
Thanks, Jeff. We don't want to confuse anybody. Oh man, I was just gonna go to Sam too. Bill?
I'm good with, you've really detailed the schedule. That's really great. Like I said, I would also donate $500 for porta potties.
Yeah, you were our first donor. Thanks, Phil.
When do you need it?
Oh, I think we gotta get it paid by the 7th of May. So
Okay.
the
Okay.
month, of May.
Yeah. My other thing is I'm teaching a carving paddle making class at the University of Washington, and I'm looking for paddle blanks They're really hard to come by.
Uh-oh.
So I'm looking for yellow cedar, 6 foot, two, the regular blank paddle blank. You got any, let me know.
Okay, yeah,
I'm at redeagle@nwrain.com. Want me to write it in?
Red Eagle.
Sure, would you please?
And just so everybody knows, Phil, Red Eagle and Carver's Camp, they were the only canoe that came ashore last year on September 1st. So fulfilled the call. That's where we get, that's where we're, so we started with one last year and they all camped in my yard and it was great. Oh,
Yeah,
Kai, if you could, showers on Lopez Island. We kind of talked about that. Where those will be, they're downtown, right?
Yeah, there's some downtown. There's some houses where people are willing to have people to come showers, and we can check with, there's something called Lopez Ride or just volunteers to help shuttle people back and forth. I think getting hot showers at Audlin would be hard, but we can certainly get showers to people.
Yeah,
And
that'll be great.
Get people to
I mean,
showers might be easier than getting showers.
yeah, that'd be great because people, yeah, I know that's gonna be something that I'm thinking about, and so I just. Sam, did you have something to say? I'm sorry you keep falling in and out. Go ahead, bud.
Answer his question.
Gotta unmute.
Hey, everybody. Can you hear me now?
Hey, Sam.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, hi, everyone. Yeah, sorry, I was kind of late, so I didn't see, the first 2 days of when everyone's going. But we're kind of planning on, I know, sweetheart, give me 1 second. We're planning on launching at like 8:30 that first day. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna get pushed south, kind of. Yeah, and then we're just going for like 3 days. We're turning around at San Juan. So yeah, that's kind of our plan. Sorry, I'm a little busy today.
Well, family first.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
Sam.
Are you guys familiar with this book?
Are you guys familiar with this book?
This can make a difference. This can probably help chart your or help you to plan your
difference.
trip.
This could probably help chart your or help you to plan your trips.
So for instance, all those little arrows, it's hard to see, I'm sure, but all those little arrows show which way the current flows.
So
at
all
a
those
certain
little,
time of
hard to
the
see, I'm sure, but
tide.
all those little arrows show which way the current flows at a certain time of the tide.
Have you got the live stream on at the same time?
I don't know
I'm not
why it's
live.
doing that.
Have you got the live stream on at the same time?
I don't know why I do now.
I think it's Bart's microphone is echoing it.
Oh, okay.
I think it's Bart's microphone is.
Okay. So
I put my email on chat. So if you run across anybody with paddles, let me know. Paddle blanks,
paddle blanks,
yellow cedar.
yellow cedar. Yeah, that's yeah, I haven't heard of yellow cedar in a long time. I know what you mean though. Any other questions? Jana, we're gonna go clam digging sometime soon, right?
Yes, we are. Got some lower tides coming up.
Yeah, so just so everybody knows, I just want to let you know that I want to do a shout out to Pat Rasmussen down in Olympia. She called me yesterday, and she's gonna go to the Squaxin Island. They got a shellfish company, and she's gonna donate 100 dozen oysters from their shellfish farm. So I also got a call from Titus Capolman down in Quinault. He's a hunter. He was gonna bring us an elk last year. It didn't happen because of COVID and we didn't gather. So he's gonna go hunting to get some traditional food, either an elk or deer. And Pat Rasmussen is gonna donate some oysters. She's also donating some blankets too. She's getting that's why I said that to you, Dave, about Pacific Blanket, because that's where they're getting the blankets from, to donate us for when we're doing the work for Jewel. So that is really all I have. I talk a little bit more, but I'm getting right at my 1 hour threshold. And Bart, do you have any questions? I'll send you that packet, right?
I had a question too.
Go ahead.
No questions. We're just waiting for the packet. Both Carl and I
I
are
had a
leaving it
question
today.
too.
Okay, so if you want to download save the chat and go ahead on the question there.
So I'm Jennifer, and nice to meet everybody. I live on the East Coast in Baltimore, Maryland, and I met Freddie in the Red Road Journey when they came to Washington, D.C., and I was able to visit the Lummi Nation last summer. So I just wanted to offer that I would like to volunteer. I've never been on a canoe journey, so I'm not sure all the logistics, if it's possible to be adopted by a canoe or something, or like get a seat in a canoe, but I'm willing to come down the week before and volunteer and be there for the whole journey.
We'll take you.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
a graphic design and marketer. I'm good with fundraising. So I just really love, the people and the families that I met last summer. So I'd love to be able to participate in my first canoe journey, however that plays out.
Well, you can travel with the octopus.
Okay.
Scullet.
So save your chat so that you have.
You have my email.
Phil's email in it.
Okay, thank you.
And Jennifer, we'll talk after, okay? Or maybe next week. And start making, see what if you want to come out that weekend before. A lot of the canoes that are traveling are gonna come up and stay with me. And then we're gonna
Okay.
I'm an hour from Anacortes. So the Hawaiians will be staying here. I offered to the El Lobo and Coeur d'Alene, so they'll all come to home. Yeah, and then we'll just be getting all our camping gear. I did get a request from our Hawaiian delegation. They're not going to be able to bring any tents or camping gear. And so if you guys can put it on your list to maybe if you can help fundraise for that, that would be great. They'll probably have at least a good dozen, a dozen worth of gear. And you might just donate it, or they just might borrow your tent. I'm just going to put the word out right now. Just again, it's for our Hawaiian delegation. They're they said that it's expensive to fly from Hawaii. So if anybody can help out there, put that on your list, or if somebody says, hey, is there any way I can help?
How many people, Freddie, are on the
I-
delegation?
I think a dozen to be safe. I guess 4 tents I would start with. I have a big 12-person tent. I know that I'm gonna fish out somewhere, but if I can't use it, then I'm not gonna let them use it. But yeah, I just want to put that out there because we're all in this together. So that's it for me.